You want to look at the word first, business model, what it means. Business model is how you create, deliver, and capture value. How you create, how you deliver, and how you capture value for your target market. Now, it's one thing for you to be technical, it's one thing for you to be a specialist. Another thing, you need to know how to, you have a good idea, you have a good product and service, but you need to know how to create the market, you need to know how to deliver the value, create the value, and make it available to these people. And that's what we say. There's always this hype of the business plan, the business plan. Yes, we agree. The business plan will say is the model and that gives direction to your business. But within the business plan, what makes the business plan work and come alive? Because your business plan needs to come alive. A lot of those business plans we have, they are all written from your intellectual, virtual space, all written, sometimes 30 page, 250 pages of document. But what will bring that document alive is the business model. And when you talk about the business model, you're looking at some critical areas that you need to make your product and services acceptable. There are 9 building blocks that defines a business model. Edward has mentioned some of them. The first one, the heart of a business model, is the customer. When you have a good product and a good service, the first thing you need to think is your customer. You can't sell to everybody. You can't sell to everybody. You need to define the people you want to sell to. You need to define the people the product and services you have designed will reach out to. Is it a mass market you're looking at? Is it a diversified market you're looking at? Is it a niche market you're looking at? Is it a co-created market you're looking at? So every SME needs to clearly define their customer. And that's the first model you need to look at critically. The other one you want to look at is your value proposition. After people use my product and my service, what is that wow experience I want them to have? What will make them come back to me? Because sometimes as SMEs, you want to design a product and service from your own field, not knowing that you won't be the one to buy your product and service. Somebody else needs to buy it. Somebody else needs to value it. Somebody needs to see that I'm not just looking at the features of the product, but there's something tangible, there's a benefit I'm gaining from it. That's a model you need to look at too. I'm sure Edward is going to speak about the other ones.
Yes.
But these are the first 2 key models you need to look at. Some other areas you want to look at. What are my cost structure? You're going into business. Sometimes you have, even at the micro level, you can see one of our mothers or our sisters going to the market. She goes to the market with 100,000 naira. She buys goods of about 100,000 plus transportation included, about 100,000 naira. By the time she comes back home, she sells and makes about 120,000 naira. And she may be thinking she has made a profit of 20,000, but not knowing that some other cost has been, some other costs are included in all of the process of getting getting that business and selling to our target audience. Cost structure is another model you need to look at in business.
But then again, it seems like, yes, it's necessary for you to have a business model alongside your business plan, but not a lot of people have it. And maybe because they don't understand the reason why they should have a business model, or maybe because they feel it's not just necessary. But is it necessary to have a business model? Edward?
Ari, let me simplify this thing. A lot of people stumbled into entrepreneurship, stumbled into business. They were not told the full truth. They wanted to just make money. But again, making money, in all fairness, is different from growing a business. Like currently, I've been struggling with my post-CSA incorporations. You know, if you set up a business at CSA, that's not all. There's still some or many other things you need to do, annual returns, filing, tax payments, all of those things. But a lot of SMEs are not concerned. They don't know about those things. Now, in a simple term, when we talk business model, when we teach business model, what we are saying in essence is, how will your company run? It could be a simple flow chart. How do you do the things you said you would do? Just put it down, a flow chart. This is how I'm going to acquire a customer. This is how I'm going to attend to the customer. This is how I'm going to deliver value to the customer. This is how I'm going to get paid. And these are the cost elements I'm going to be deducting from all of these, and this is what will remain to me.
What about how to remain competitive as well?
That's the same thing. Bringing everything together, define your competitiveness. Yes. You know, so the issue is a lot of people are just at one end of the spectrum making money, but they are not paying attention to growing their business. It is your business model. See, what makes Channels TV, for instance, unique, different, the industry leader, is probably your business model. There are several TV stations around, but the things you do that are unique and different with you, your style, is what makes this station different from every other station. It's what makes the bank A different from a bank B, a bank C. They are all offering financial services, but their business model, their operations, how they do the way they do their things. It's their business model. So if you can do that, very simplified, that's your business model. This is what I offer, my key product, my key service. These are the key activity. If you are offering a service like website design, that's your key service. What are your key activities? You will do hosting, you will do you just list that thing, awareness, having them on paper and sticking to it.
But then, Edward, there's some companies that have, they do the same thing. Everybody knows how to, design a website.
Okay.
They don't do anything different. They know how to host it. They do everything.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, as a customer, you might begin to have doubts as regards which one you should actually be patronizing, since everybody does the same thing and nobody does anything different to make them more competitive than the other. It's just blank.
Can everybody really do the same thing? That takes us to one of the elements of the business model, your value proposition. Yeah. Your value proposition. I don't want to mention brands here, but we'll look at different industry, different companies. Company A is the most just, even if it is color, even if it is speed, your value proposition is saying what problem are you solving for your customer? Yes, the guy or this other guy do websites, but I do this kind of website. I'm giving more value. My website is content driven. My website comes with a free 1-year hosting. You don't need to pay for your hosting, or my website, I can give you additional more emails than your regular 3 or 4 emails that come your domain. So every of those little difference helps you have a unique value. So you can compete, which is one of the other elements of your business model, on your value proposition. There is no two companies that can just
give the same value.
It's
always different.
Joe do consulting, I do consulting. He does incubation, I do incubation. Kinetic, are we the same? In terms of our output delivery, probably yes, but our models are different, sincerely.
That's a very realistic example. Yes, but then, like Joel said, he mentioned customers being, able to cater to customer, either they're mass-driven, diversified, core, or niche. Okay. You also mentioned value proposition and the cost of business, but what other elements of business models do we have?
Channels. You need to look at channels, not Chinese television. You need to look at the channels. How do you want to reach those people? After you've defined them, for example, if you've one of your tag in your customer segment, you're looking at the niche market. These are big boys. These are large guys. You may not be able to assess them the way you ordinarily want to assess the mass market or the segmented market. For a niche kind of market, you don't want to advertise a Ferrari in a Punch newspaper or in a This Day newspaper. Perhaps you can get a few of those guys reading it. But sometimes these guys, they are heavy business people that want to read like the Times, they want to read like the Economics, and very huge, and Forbes magazine. So because that kind of market is a niche one, your channel of reaching those guys will be different. We have channels, for example, small businesses these days, we use email marketing, we use SMS, some use newsletter as part of email marketing. But once you know your segment, you have to know the right channel to reach them. It's very, very important. Even if you have segmented customers, you can't reach all of them the same way based on their status in life. Because sometimes when you ask, how do we really define our customers? Is that you're defining them demographically, you're defining them geographically, you're defining them psychographically. So based on all of this definition, you must look at the right channels to reach them. The other key area of the business model is the key resources.